With Roman Reigns addressing rumors regarding The Rock and Becky Lynch saying there could be a backstage fight between her and Charlotte Flair. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for November 18th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. With her becoming the first Queen of the Ring in WWE, Zelina Vega said on the Out of Character podcast that she found out about the tournament on social media as opposed to being told by the company. Funny enough, I read it on the internet, which kind of spoiled it in a way for me too. I was like, man, I would love to hear about this for my job. I'd love to hear it from the horse's mouth and know that this is 100% actually happening instead of getting excited for something and it doesn't happen. I remember reading about it briefly on the internet and was like, that'd be really cool if it was actually a thing. WWE has taken so many steps to make the women important, and this is another thing to do that. I remember thinking it's real now. Whoa, that's a long plane ride. I was excited, winning it or not. I was excited to do it and be a part of it. Same thing with Evolution. You're part of history regardless. You get those genuine and emotional moments, and I feel like those are things that are missing in wrestling. Without the internet, we used to be able to go to a show and be like, oh my god, I can't believe they won. Did you see the reaction? I genuinely miss those times. When Booker T was king, we went to Madison Square Garden and my little brother had 3 signs. One of them said King Booger, and it had him with his pinky up picking his nose. When he's holding it up and yelling at Booker, I was like, oh no, this is bad. During a commercial break, Booker and Charmel turn to my brother and are yelling at him. He's having such a good time and I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what wrestling is and what it's for. And if you can pull those emotions out of people, that's what we want. I miss those feelings and why I feel like spoilers suck. We can rekindle that if we figure it out. At only 24 years old, Angel Garza had a tryout for WWE in 2016 along with his cousin Humberto Carrillo. On Table Talk, Garza revealed they were too young at that time. It was a little confusing because we did 3 or 4 tryouts before we came to WWE. The first one, it was 2015 or 16, and they said both of you guys are too young, so we're going to wait. We'll call you next year. That was a soft way to say bye-bye, we don't need you, we don't like you, we don't want you. Next year, we came to Orlando and we did the whole tryout for the whole week, and after that it was the same thing. Wait 1 more year because both of you guys are too young, so keep building your names, and next year we're going to contact both of you guys. We're like, okay, this second chance it over, this is like the last dance. The next year they contacted us, but I was signed with Impact and I told them we have to wait until my contract ends. After that year, Humberto came first because I was injured with my shoulder. I had surgery on my shoulder and that postponed my introduction to WWE, so Humberto came 6 months before me, and then I came. It was a rough path to walk. WWE may have had a change of heart when it comes to bringing in younger stars, as NXT standout Braun Breaker is only 24 currently. With the Forbidden Door open, many New Japan stars have been seen in AEW. One man that many are hoping makes an appearance for the promotion is Will Ospreay, as the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion had this to say about going over to AEW during an online meet and greet. I'm always open to it because it does interest me, but until it's actually an option and it's in front of me, I have no interest in doing anything else outside of what New Japan wants for me. I am a New Japan guy, even though I'm a shithead half the time and an asshole to deal with. I do genuinely care about the company and where it goes. I think the company would be so much better with me and all my friends at the forefront of New Japan's future. Sorry in advance, but things have to change, and I'm going to do it my way. In terms of that Forbidden Door, sure, if it's open, but I think it's only open for 50-year-old blokes at this rate. By the time I'm 40, I'll be able to make my debut. When asked which wrestlers he'd like to face, Ospreay noted that he would want to take out former AEW champion Kenny Omega. Before becoming a manager or promoter, Paul Heyman was a photographer getting his start in the wrestling business. Heyman was taking pictures backstage at a Madison Square Garden show as his father, an attorney, gave the rights to those photos to the Capital Wrestling Corporation. As Heyman told Squared Circle Pit, I hustled my way into the WWF. We'll just say WWE to make it easy for everybody to understand. I almost got thrown out of my second show because I approached Vince McMahon Sr. I was walking through the Garden locker room, about to turn right to go out to the ring, and I'm 15 years old at the time, and I see Vincent James McMahon with Andre the Giant in the hallway, and I turned off my flash and I kept my camera low. I just started clicking away, and I had 36 photos to take and knew I would get a good one out of it. No flash, 400 ASA film, didn't need a flash with the natural light in the Garden locker room cover, and when I developed the pictures, I had quite a few good ones, and because I had shot at such a low angle, Andre just looked massive. So I printed out some black and white 8x10s, and my father, who was a personal injury attorney in the Bronx, wrote up what was some sort of a photo release that the then company Capital Wrestling Corporation, that had all the rights to the pictures, could do anything they wanted, put it on posters, put it in magazines, use it in press releases, you know, do whatever they want with it. Full rights with no fee, no credit needed, or as much of a release as he knew how to write because he wasn't an entertainment lawyer. He was a personal injury attorney, but he kind of understood how to write it up. And I put it in a nice manila envelope and I approached Vince James McMahon with it, and two cops from the Garden picked me up from underneath my elbows. They took me and they were throwing me out, and Howard Finkel of all people came over and said, officers, hold on, he's okay, officers, because I had a press pass. And he brought me back to Vince J. McMahon and was asked, did you take these pictures? I said yes, last month in the Garden. Oh, they're very good pictures. What's with the photo release? I said, well, they're of you, they're of Andre in your locker room, and I appreciate the opportunity to be backstage, so you can do whatever you want with them. He said, every month, come to me with a couple of pictures and please let me contribute to your transportation fund to come to the Garden. Oh, thank you very much. He said, take your education seriously, young man. Ah, yes sir, yes sir. So every Garden show, I'd go up to Vincent James McMahon, take him a couple of pictures, and we'd have 30 seconds of, oh, what did you think of the show? What are you looking forward to seeing tonight? What do you think the audience wants to see? 30-second conversations, always pleasant. A true gentleman, the Pope of Madison Square Garden. With him set to take on Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, Big E spoke to Robbie Fox about a potential crossover between WWE and AEW. Just because I said there are so many people that I root for over there, and I think competition is great for everyone all around, and I am definitely glad the fans are engaged. It is not my thing, but people love pot stirring and it is interesting. The idea of, I'm not sure if it is ever feasible, but you know, just like, is that forbidden door gonna be open here between us and them? Like, imagine that. That would be incredible. I think that would be really interesting. Speaking of Big E, it seems that after the upcoming pay-per-view that he could be in a program with WCW legend Goldberg. Talking about this, Big E told RN Pro Wrestling that he wants to retire him. When I cut that nonsensical promo on our podcast, the likelihood to me was like 2.5% tops. But now that I hold this dearly beloved WWE Championship, it's all possible. I would like to see that happen. That would be incredible. Imagine Goldberg's last match against me. With him reportedly having one more match left on his current contract, Goldberg could have that final bout be for the WWE title against Big E. Given his loss of the AEW World title at Full Gear, Kenny Omega is expected to take some time off to deal with some nagging injuries. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed he will likely need many surgeries during this time out. He has a lot of issues: knees, shoulder, abdominal hernia that he's been working through. There's others too, so he'll be getting multiple surgeries most likely. Everything is to be determined, but I guess he's getting a lot of these taken care of at the same time. But it's a lot of parts to rehab at the same time. I'm not sure where it's all going down. I have not confirmed he's doing the AAA show or not. It's only a couple weeks away. He's done with AEW for a while. I know he's hoping February maybe. It's premature because they haven't done these surgeries next. There's a lot of things he's working through. As Bryan Danielson has become the new #1 contender, you have to think that a match between Hangman and the American Dragon is in the works. Given their awkward title exchange on TV and their reported backstage altercation, it's safe to assume Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch are not on the best of terms. On the MMA Hour, Lynch was asked if things got weird between her and Flair. As Becky mentioned, there could be a backstage fight if they have another rivalry. I also like money. There is money and people are interested, and I love that people are interested, and I love that people don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know if this is going to be just an all-out brawl. I don't know if this is going to be just venom behind every move. I don't know if we're even going to be able to get to the match. I don't know if there's going to be a fight backstage. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that's exciting for me and the audience. While it was rumored that The Rock might show up at Survivor Series, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. On The Tonight Show, Roman Reigns was asked about this as he replied, "These are rumors, you say? I have not heard these rumors, and I would think I'm closer than anybody at this point. That's not what I heard, but I also debuted at Survivor Series as well, so there's a nice little tie-in there." Despite Roman saying he would like to face Rock, it seems more than likely that match would take place at a WrestleMania event. It was previously reported that Hulk Hogan was having trouble moving around according to a video. Now on Ric Flair's podcast, it's been said that he is having health issues. He's having some really bad health issues, but he keeps up with me. We support each other, good and bad. When I was in the hospital, he flew up that day like everybody else that came up to see me. Hulk was gracious. Jimmy Hart was great. I don't remember seeing them because I was in a coma, but they made the effort to go. Those are the kind of things that mean a lot. Speaking of Ric Flair, he also noted on his podcast that in 1982 in the Dominican Republic, that Roddy Piper was paid in drugs after he wrestled. They gave me $5,000 and they gave him cocaine and $500. He was happy. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.